The energy vibrating through the streets of Chicago right now is absolutely electric, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like destiny is finally wearing a Bears jersey. This isn't just your average pregame update. This is the news we have been praying for since the schedule was first released. If you thought this playoff run was going to be a struggle, think again, because the monsters of the Midway just got the ultimate green light to wreak havoc. Before we break down this massive injury report that has the entire league talking, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this video with every member of the fan base, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat of this postseason journey. Can we just take a second to appreciate how rare this moment is? We are heading into a high-stakes, Saturday night playoff showdown against our biggest rivals, and the injury report is looking like a miracle. For months, we've been hearing about next man up and fighting through adversity. But the stars have finally aligned. We aren't just limping into the postseason. We are charging in with a roster that is the healthiest it has been since the opening kickoff of Week 1. This isn't just good news. It's a total game changer that should have every fan in the city ready to run through a brick wall. Let's get straight into the heart of the matter. The Big Three are officially back. We are talking about Rome Odunze, Kyler Gordon, and AZ Trapilo all being cleared for action. When you look at the landscape of the NFC, being this healthy at this point in the year is almost unheard of. It's the kind of advantage that turns a close game into a blowout. Let's start with the offensive firework himself, Rome Odunze. It feels like an eternity since we've seen number one stretching the field, doesn't it? It's been nearly 2 months of waiting, wondering, and watching from the sidelines. But think about what has happened in his absence. While Rome was out, we watched the emergence of absolute stars like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. These guys didn't just fill a gap, they became focal points of the offense. Now, imagine you are a defensive coordinator trying to sleep tonight. You already have to worry about the veteran dominance of DJ Moore. You have to account for the sudden explosion of Burden and the sheer reliability of Loveland. And now you have to add a rested, hungry, and fully healthy Rome Odunze back into that equation. How do you even begin to scheme for that? If you double-team DJ Moore, Rome is going to burn you deep. If you try to take away the middle with Loveland, Burden is going to carve you up underneath. It's a pick-your-poison scenario that is going to keep Jeff Hafley awake until kickoff. But even with that offensive firepower returning, there is a massive debate raging among the fans right now about where the real impact lies. Question of the day: if you could only have one of these stars at 100% for Saturday night, would you choose the offensive weapon Rome Odunze or the defensive Swiss Army knife Kyler Gordon? I want to see the comments section move. Type Rome or Kyler below and tell me exactly why your pick is the key to a victory. Speaking of Kyler Gordon, let's talk about why his return might actually be the most underrated story of the week. Look, let's be real. We don't know if Kyler is going to be at 100% conditioning right out of the gate. He hasn't played a ton of football lately. But even a 75 or 80% Kyler Gordon is a massive upgrade for this secondary. He brings a level of versatility that changes how this defense operates. He's the guy who can fly down and run support one play and then stick to a slot receiver like glue the next. With C.J. Gardner-Johnson officially ruled out due to a concussion, the timing of Gordon's return couldn't be more perfect. We need that X factor, energy. We need someone who can make those momentum-swinging plays on third down. Picture this: it's early in the first quarter, the crowd is deafening, and Kyler Gordon flies off the edge for a corner blitz, forcing a fumble or a hurried throw. That kind of play doesn't just show up on the stat sheet, it ignites the entire stadium. This defense has struggled to get off the field in recent weeks, and having Spider-Man back in the mix is the emotional lift this unit desperately needs to find its swagger again. But games aren't just won on the perimeter, they are won in the mud and the grit of the trenches. That's why seeing AZ Trapilo's name on the active list is such a relief. We saw Theo Benedict step up recently, and while he's a physical force in the run game, his pass protection has been a bit of a roller coaster. In the playoffs, you cannot afford to have a leaky left side. Tropillo is a clear, definitive upgrade in pass protection. He provides that wall of security that allows our quarterback to go through his progressions without hearing footsteps. The best part? The timing of his return combined with the opponent's struggles is a perfect storm. The Packers are currently without their most dangerous pass-rushing threat, Micah Parsons, who is sidelined with his own injury. If Tropillo can hold down that left side, our offense is going to have all day to find those weapons we talked about earlier. And if we can secure this win, an extra week of recovery will have Tropillo at full throttle for the divisional round. Now, we have to be objective. While our news is mostly positive, we are missing some key rotational pieces. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and Ameer Speed are all out with concussions. It's a tough blow, especially for Tryon-Shoyinka, who we all hoped would clear protocol after missing last week. This means our depth is going to be tested, but with the big three returning, the overall talent level on the field is still vastly improved. On the flip side of the coin, let's look at what's happening in Green Bay, because their injury report is starting to look a bit shaky. The biggest name to watch is Zach Tom. Their coaching staff is trying to stay optimistic, calling it a see how he feels situation, but he missed practice time this week with a knee injury. Here is the thing about knee injuries and offensive linemen, they do not like the cold. We are looking at a potential snow game with temperatures dropping fast. When those big 300-pound guys have to plant and drive on a bad knee in sub-freezing weather, things get difficult very quickly. If Zach Tom is even slightly compromised, our defensive line needs to smell blood in the water. They also have questions surrounding Dontavian Wicks and Javon Bullard. Wicks is a big play threat that stretches the field, and Bullard is that jack of all trades defender who keeps their secondary cohesive. If those guys can't go, or if they are playing at half speed, the advantage tilts even further in our direction. While Josh Jacobs says he's feeling the best he has in weeks, he's going to be carrying a heavy load in a snow game. We know what to expect from him, but the question is, can their hobbled roster support him enough to keep up with our healthy, rejuvenated squad? The atmosphere for this Saturday night game is going to be unlike anything we've seen in years. This is more than just a game, it is a chance to reset the hierarchy of the North. We have the weapons. We have the health. We have the home field energy. When you see number 6 back on defense and Rome Odunze streaking down the sideline, you'll know that all the waiting and all the frustration of the regular season was leading to this exact moment. There are no more excuses. The coaching staff has the tools they need. The players have the health they've been craving. Now, it all comes down to execution. Can we take advantage of a weakened Packers line? Can our secondary hold up without CJ? Can our offense become the multi-headed monster we know it can be with Rome back in the lineup? I believe the answer is a resounding yes. This team has a different vibe right now. There's a confidence radiating from the locker room that you can almost feel through the screen. We are deeper, faster, and more versatile than we were just 2 weeks ago. This is the moment where heroes are made and legends are born in the snow of Chicago. Are you ready to witness history? Or do you think the rivalry pressure is too much for this young squad? The road to the Super Bowl goes through the trenches, and right now, we are winning that battle before the ball is even snapped. Let's get out there, let's be loud, and let's show the world that the monsters of the Midway are officially back and hungrier than ever. Would you like me to create a detailed breakdown of the specific matchups between our returning receivers and their secondary to help you prepare for the game?